A major change in reinventing myself onto a new adventure and a pretty unknown journey. All at an age where many of us are now probably starting to wind down our careers. So, I was recently laid off earlier this year from an IT consulting position where I was working as a senior business analyst, and this was now sort of the impetus for all of this. Now, it was a career that I had spent many years in and gained a wealth of experience. And it was a career where I had initially worked many years, over 2 decades, in fact, working as a scientist in research laboratories. Now, I had a very strong passion for the work that my many colleagues and I did over the years, of the many findings, many achievements, and the medical discoveries that came our way, both big and small. It was a time of personal and intellectual growth, and it's something I'll always be proud of, and I'll look back at fondly, always. But I am now ready for a change, a major change, something different. But how was I going to do that? And more importantly, what new opportunities would present itself at my age? Hi, I'm Len Incognito. Welcome to my brand new channel. This is my first YouTube video and my endeavor into content creation here on YouTube. Now, I had for years wanted to go back to photography, something I took up decades ago, way back in junior high school. And while I continued to shoot on and off over the years, photography eventually became a semi-permanent side gig of mine back about 12 years ago or so. And I purchased my first digital DSLR back in 2008, a Nikon D80, great little camera, and I never looked back. I began photographing landscapes, architectures, basically anything and everything I could shoot, and soon started capturing images of families, did a bit of children's portraits, and shot a number of weddings and various celebrations. That was a passion that never left me. Photography just stayed on the back burner of my life, you might say. Serious hobby, indeed, where I initially didn't think I could make a real career out of it and really be successful at it. After all, I was continually told while growing up that I ought to become a doctor. And although my life didn't quite go in that direction, I did manage to finish a graduate degree in the sciences and did find a nice career, a great career that continually sparked a curiosity that I kind of always yearned for. So as I mentioned, I became a lab bench researcher, all the while having been married and trying to do our best at raising 3 young boys at the time. And I'd like to think that those years sort of prepped me for the upcoming challenges later in life as well. Now, I've always felt that I should live a life of trying to have as few regrets as possible, of trying different and physically challenging activities and different experiences that I haven't done in the past. And now this also included traveling and exploring the world around me, both near and far. And currently, I'm on a quest at visiting all 7 continents, having 2 to go, but my wife Nora has amazingly now been to all 7 of them. So here I am on a very different and unique journey to explore the path of both reigniting my lifelong interest in photography, but now also at becoming a YouTube content creator. Something I never really thought I'd get into doing, at least on a full-time basis. Something I thought that was pretty much for the younger generations of millennials and Gen Zers. And being an older Gen Xer myself, I am convincing myself to get up and get ready for this challenge. After all, we grew up as latchkey kids, right? Going out with our bikes during the summer and not coming home till almost dark, and our parents never really knowing where we were or what we were doing. We played tag, baseball, and football on the streets. We never wore bike helmets. Heck, we never wore seatbelts in cars. Many of you might remember those crazy days. So yes, as a result, I am up for this challenge and really know I can do this. We've all come a long way since growing up in the 70s and 80s. We all have, if we're part of this generation. So look, we are a generation known for being self-reliant, resourceful. Although none of us grew up with the incredible technology of today, I wish we had. With the internet and social media, we did manage to adapt in our 20s and in our 30s and became a generation of Gen Xers able to face many challenges with true resilience. And yes, this is something that's a bit different for me, something way out of my comfort zone. I ask myself, can I even make a living doing this? And as you might imagine, there is quite a bit of self-doubt about all of this. And I do question whether I even stand a chance at successfully making it here on YouTube. It's kind of frightening, I gotta say. It really is. And I know it's going to be a sort of daunting task with so much still to learn and so much to do with not a whole heck of a lot of time to do it. And that's personally how I feel. And it's perhaps one of my most difficult challenges to date, because I may have to accept that it's going to probably be a long-term effort, that it might take months, maybe even a year or two before anything even starts to come to fruition, if it even will, right? So here I am. I gotta say I'm a little nervous and excited at the same time, but I've got to embrace it. I've got to completely own whatever I produce. Hopefully it's great content, and continue along this new journey of mine. All of it now during the latter part of my life. So stay tuned.